Do you think time to block that off and things, is that a common excuse for people?
You mean time to do the planning?
Yeah.
It's the number one excuse. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have enough time. How am I going to have time to plan? Well, if the planning time is going to pay for itself exponentially over time. So you're actually going to save time. You're going to be more productive. You may not work less or spend less time at work, but the time at work that you do spend, you're going to spend more on your most valuable activity. So you're going to contribute more. You're going to generate more revenues. You're going to build a stronger team. You're going to build stronger relationships with clients. All of those are MVA kind of things. So in the end, you're going to be better off, and you're going to save time because you're not wasting it on the things that aren't driving business, that aren't building revenues, that aren't building relationships. But it is an investment of time. But what happens is, once my clients begin doing it and get in the habit of doing it, I've got this trick thing, or whatever you want, technique. Listen, you may not want to stick to it, but let's commit that for the next 30 days or 60 days, you're going to commit to a weekly planning process. And let's talk about what it is, and let's talk about what you're going to do. And your commitment is, after 30 days, after 60 days, you can decide whether or not you want to do it or not. But commit for 30 days. Spend the time on it. Do it right. Follow this process. And I've never had anybody that started it that didn't continue it, because you see the value. You understand what it does. I could not even imagine beginning a week not doing that, because I know what it does for me. I know the sense of control it gives me. Now, I may get into Tuesday and realize that things need to move around, but that's okay. That's part of life. But at least if there's 6 big rocks on my calendar and I get to 3 of them, it's better than getting to 1 or none if I hadn't done that, which I probably wouldn't have gotten to if I hadn't done it.
Wow, I'm definitely going to start doing that.
Well, and it's finding the best time to do that, Brian. I mean, for some of my clients are split into 3 categories of when they do it. I've got clients that do it on Friday afternoon because things are calmed down. If they're traveling, they're back in town or whatever. So Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock is a very common time. First thing Monday morning, early for some clients. Some clients come in at 6 o'clock, 6:30 and do it and get it done and out of the way. And then I've got clients that come in on a Saturday morning, or it's the very last thing that they do after the kids are in bed Sunday night. That's their weekly planning time. And they spend the hour and a half and get the week teed up, so that when they hit the office Monday, they feel like they're in control of their week.
Do you suggest that one of those rocks are either the most important things, is it in their life, or do you think does it just vary with whoever it is? There could be one rock that's a business goal, another rock that's a relationship.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
It's a combination of MVAs, and when I say MVAs, most valuable activities, those apply to work. Okay, so your most valuable activity time blocks are going to be work focused.
Okay.
But when you do your weekly planning and you put the big rocks on your calendar, in addition to those MVA time blocks, you're putting exercise time. You're putting time with your wife or your husband. You're putting time with the kids, the baseball game, the soccer game, or whatever. You're putting it on your calendar. I will never put a meeting on my calendar where I don't have prep time also on my calendar. Meeting time for me is a red block on my calendar. Prep time for me is a yellow block. And it may not be right before the meeting. It may be a day before, but it's identifiable to the meeting. So it'll be prep for Brian at some point in time before we meet, so that it's on my calendar with a 30-minute block of time. So that
when did you prep for this meeting? Interview.
I had lunch today. I had a client meeting up until 12:30, and then Sushi Thai at Vanderbilt and Airport is a restaurant that I like to go to. So I sat in the restaurant. I pulled up your interview prep document, And I took out Evernote. I'm a huge Evernote fan, and I started making notes in Evernote of the kinds of things that I thought we might talk about today and some of the things that I wanted to make sure that we covered.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent a good hour, 15 minutes then, and then 30 minutes ahead of heading up here from my office, I went back to that and made some adjustments. So I spent about an hour and a half ahead of today.
Did you like this interview?
I think it's a
prep?
great
What can I do
anytime,
better? I want to make this real. I always want to make my guests feel very comfortable and have fun when they're here, and to be able to share their stories and say what they really need to say. And I want to get to the good stuff. What can I do to be better? Or
well, I first of all, I've done plenty of these interviews where I got nothing from anybody. And you deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have a more effective interview if you do what you did. And I thought you did an excellent job of what you did. There's no right and wrong questions, but the fact that you sat down and you wrote out some very insightful questions, you gave some possible structure to what the interview was going to look like and what I might expect. So I felt comfortable coming in here today knowing the kinds of questions that might be asked. It really doesn't matter what they are. Those are all great questions.
Okay.
I don't know that you have any better questions. There's always other questions that you could ask, but that's a great set. And the fact that you did that and you shared that with me made this process more comfortable, made me want to do it,
great.
made me want to prepare for it because I had some structure to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And it really helped me kind of dial in the whole process today.
Cool. Well,
So great
good.
job
Thank
of
you.
doing
Yeah,
that.
thank you. Well, I really appreciate that. No, it's good to have that, that feedback, that outside feedback.